come in, sir?
Please come.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Please have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Jitender,
Yes, sir.
please give your brief introduction.
Sir, my name is Jitender and I was born and brought up in Bahadurgarh, Haryana. I've completed my schooling till 12th class from Bahadurgarh itself. After that, I completed my graduation in electrical engineering from NIT Kurukshetra. Post that, I worked in an MNC named American Express for around 8.5 months.
Okay.
That's when I thought about preparing for this exam. So that's when I started this, and I'm here now.
From electrical engineering to data analyst in the American Express, then to the CAPF. Why?
Sir, I think the main reason was that I always wanted to explore different options, different opportunities that I was presented, and then I always thought that's when I would choose the thing that would suit best to my abilities and to my capabilities. So I started out with electrical engineering, and after having completed 4 years, I thought maybe I should try something new, something that would expose me to a different kind of atmosphere. That's when I chose data analyst. And well, when I was almost 5-6 months working as data analyst, I thought my capabilities are not being put to their maximum use. So I thought I should go for something that would challenge me both physically and intellectually. And that's when I started preparing for this exam.
What was your role as a data analyst? What was your job responsibilities?
Sir, my job essentially revolved around getting insights about the data that we used to get from the American market, where American Express is operating. We used to calculate different metrics. We used to gain insights from the data, and based on those insights, we used to suggest to our top leadership to suggest what policies and what not exactly policies, but what programs they should be rolling out for their markets to get better profits, better margins in the future. So that was my main role, to gain insights and to assist my leadership.
Can you tell me something about your previous employer, that is American Express?
Something about American Express?
Yeah.
Sir, this is an MNC. It started out initially in 1800s. It's a very old company. It started out in 1800s as a delivery company, but with time it switched roles. When different opportunities came its way, and finally right now it is a financial service provider company. It provides credit card services, and it is operating in so many markets now, US being one of them, but it's also having its presence right now in Europe and in Asia also. So it is operating in so many
Apart
markets.
from credit card, they are working in financial services. They are working in some other area also.
They are working in some other areas also. Sir, yes, of course, business cards also, I've heard they have a presence in that segment as well. But primarily their the market that they had targeted, and it is still their primary market, which is the credit card one.
Okay. Jitender, you tell me, what are the 3 main security threats these days to India? Internal security threats.
So can I take a moment?
Yeah.
Sir, I think the 3 main internal security threats to India are Naxalism, and then Northeast insurgency, and finally terrorism and J&K militancy. We can almost combine them. So terrorism, basically, hinterland or J&K terrorism.
What is the role of CAPF in tackling Naxalism?
So the role of CAPF in tackling Naxalism, it has multifaceted roles. First of all, it it also tries to neutralize any threats that are emanating, that let's say if some intelligence has gathered some information, so neutralizing those threats. Then also working in the development side of those areas wherein civic action programs of our government, so implementing those on the ground to provide a people centric approach to those areas and to bringing them out to fostering a relationship, a trust building in those areas. I think that is also one of the main roles wherein CAPFs work. Essentially, CRPF is the one which is involved in Naxalism operations.
Okay, one last question. How your degree of electrical engineering as well as your experience of data analysis can be helpful in CAPF?
Sir, my degree in electrical engineering, I think the way I have throughout my degree, how I was taught to look at things objectively, I think that helps me a lot even now to look at things, to go by logical thinking, scientific approach to things. I think that is something that I can take from my electrical engineering degree and I can apply it, I think, almost in any aspect of life. So being in CAPF, I think there also I'll be able to use those capabilities that I've learned there. Now, the data analysis part, it helps me to think in a data oriented way. I look at data, and more than emotions, more than what other people are saying, I try to understand the facts, the data that comes, and based on that, I try to understand the situation. Based on that, I draw my inferences and my conclusions about situations. So I think data analysis role that I had been a part of in the past, it helps me in understanding situations, understanding circumstances that will be presented in front of me in a data oriented way, and then taking actions and steps based on that.
Thank you, Jitender. Over to ma'am.
Do you see social media as a threat to internal security?
I think every technology has some pros and cons. Similarly, social media, of course, it has some positive benefits, but the role of social media in internal security threats can also not be neglected. It is definitely there.
Can you point it out specifically? How is it threatening internal security?
Ma'am, the way people are able to express some of the controversial things, some of the things which as people we should be very tolerant and very specific about. We should be false information, fake information, just for some maybe they are gaining something, their motives are something else, but there are people who use social media to spread fake information, and I think that in a way is and of course how the information spreads like fire through social media, including fake information, and that in a way is leading to internal security threats, because people do not verify, most of the people do not verify the source and the
what can we do about this disinformation? Okay. What checks can we put? Are there any checks already?
As far as I remember, Government of India has asked the social media companies to have fact check system in place. All the social media entities should have their own fact checking units, and also government itself.
Is there any act or statute providing for the same? Like, how has the government told these companies? Is it via act or some circular that they have sent?
Ma'am, I'm not exactly aware about the exact statute, but from what I remember or recall, I think some provisions originate from the IT Act, Information Technology Act, and using that act, the government is empowered to direct social media companies or other companies to hand. I think some of the powers come from there, and then also there is. I think I'm aware of this at the moment.
Are you aware of the term algorithmic radicalization?
I've never heard of it, but I might take a guess if you allow me to. Algorithmic radicalization. If I just add these two terms, I feel radicalization is uh, a process by which we radicalize the youth, and algorithmic, I think there is a certain algorithm associated to radicalization, and using those algorithms maybe from past data and past how youth is radicalized. Let's say we know some of the processes by which we know that youth or other segments of the society can be radicalized. So using those specific ways.
Well, as a data analyst, you should know, no?
Ma'am, yes, maybe I should be aware of it, but I'm not, I guess, at the moment.
Have you heard about sonic bombs?
About sonic?
Bombs.
No, ma'am, I have not heard about it.
All right, Jitendra, as I go through your DEF, you are an electrical engineering graduate from NIT Kurukshetra.
Yes, sir.
How is Kurukshetra related to Mahabharata, the Indian epic?
Sir, the epic battle between Kauravas and Pandavas that had taken place at Kurukshetra. So that's the holy land wherein also Lord Krishna gave those to Arjuna. He has given some advice and some about how to.
What is the compilation of this advice called?
Sir, Gita Updesh.
Yes. So tell me, how is Sonipat related to Mahabharata? You belong to Sonipat, right?
No, sir. I belong to Bahadurgarh.
All right. You belong to Bahadurgarh. Your mother and father belong to Sonipat?
Yes, sir. They are from.
All right. Then tell me, how is Sonipat related to Mahabharata?
Sir, I'm not really aware of how Sonipat is related to Mahabharata.
All right. I think you should go and read about it. Talking about electrical engineering and NITs. When was REC Kurukshetra formed?
Sir, as far as I know, I think it was 1974.
1974. And when was it rechristened as NIT?
Sir, 2002. Before that, it was REC, and in 2002, it became NIT.
Why was it done?
Why was it?
Why was it the name change? Why did it take place?
REC to NIT Kurukshetra? Sir, I think the government was picking up good regional colleges to confer them with NIT status so that they could provide them with targeted investments in those particular colleges so they can become center of excellences in
Was
those
it an
areas.
initiative of some particular leader or under some policy of the Indian government that this took place?
Sir, I'm not aware of this exactly, which policy or which.
All right. Tell me the basic difference between electrical and electronics engineering.
So the basic difference is the electrical engineering deals with the good enough amount of currents, the power systems, and
good enough amount of current is
and
expected
voltages.
out of a layman, not an electrical engineer.
Sir, the basic difference is the amount of voltages and current that they both operate in.
Exactly.
Electrical engineering operates in orders of tens of at least tens or hundreds of amperes of current, and voltages even higher level.
Let it be. You should read about it. Tell me, what is power load factor? Load factor. Tell me something about load factor.
So load factor is definition.
You explain it to me.
Sir, it is the average demand divided by maximum load that is connected to a place, to a power station. That is the load factor of that power station.
Demand, or actually, is it dependent on the demand or the capacity to do it? Demand could be much higher.
Load factor?
Yes.
So I think load factor deals with maximum demand and average load that is connected to a power station. It's the ratio of these.
All right. Tell me about Uday scheme. Have you heard about it? Uday.
Uday scheme.
It is related to some problems of power discoms of India.
So I think this scheme is about how government of India is trying to get discoms out of their stress situations. Discoms have
Are
been...
you guessing or do you know? Suggest me particular...
So I've read it.
Yes. Suggest me particular measures.
Particular measures.
What does it talk about particularly?
So can I take a moment?
Sure.
Sir, I'm not able to recall at the moment.
Tell me something about the basic structure of a hydroelectric power plant.
Basic structure.
How does it work?
Sir, first of all, we collect the water coming from, let's say, river or any other sources at a reservoir. Then because finally we want to have a controlled environment wherein we would decide the flow. So we collect the water in a reservoir. Then the water is allowed to flow, and it is allowed to pass through a turbine which would rotate.
No, but won't you use some desilting chambers or something?
I'm sorry, sir?
Desilting chambers. Silting of that water once it is collected at a reservoir. You do not want your turbines to get eroded or corroded, or for that matter, you do not want them to be damaged by small particles. So you desilt them, right? We have desilting chambers. And before reaching the turbines, there is something known as penstocks. Have you heard about these terms?
I've heard about them.
So you directly jumped onto turbines.
So because I was trying to explain the basic principle of the whole hydroelectric. Right. Should I continue that or?
Continue, but make it very crisp, like reservoir, desilting chambers, penstock, turbines. Now it is already done, I think. Is it? Tell me about two important hydroelectric projects on the western flowing rivers of the Indus River system.
Sir, I'm not.
These two have been in news very recently. When we talk about Indus Water Treaty and the western flowing rivers, the tributaries of Indus, the two hydroelectric projects that India is constructing on these rivers.
Sir, I've read them, but I'm not able to recall the names at the moment.
All right. So, you were interested in Nataks?
I was a part of a club in college known as Freaks, and there I did some brief stints as
so you're not very well versed about the cultural heritage of Haryana with respect to Nataks and other.
Yes, sir. I'm not very well aware, but I was a part. I got interested in the first year. So
you want me to delve into it or not? Or sir, should I skip to something else?
Sir, if it is my choice, then I would suggest you to skip to something else.
Chess. What is a grandmaster? What is an international grandmaster? What is an international master? And what is a super grandmaster? Tell me the difference between the three.
The technicalities?
No, just the difference. What is the organization, which credits them this, which labels them with these titles?
Sir, the organization is FIDE. I think that based on the kind of opponents they face and based on that the ratings they get.
What are those ratings called?
FIDE rating.
ELO ratings.
ELO rating, and based on the ELO score, the categorization is there between grandmasters, international masters, and super masters. I think the highest one is grandmaster.
And a super grandmaster?
Super grandmaster. It should be greater than even grandmaster.
No, by that is obviously. What do you know about it?
So I have not heard the term super grandmaster. I've heard grandmasters, and there are so many of them in India itself, but I've not heard super
All
grandmasters.
right. Now you should read about it today once you go back. And international master, chess master.
I'm not exactly aware of the differences, like exact rating difference. At
All
what
right. Tell
rating.
me two types of chess that is being competitively played.
Classic chess and rapid.
All right. So that will be it. I'll skip the questions of. Tell me about the disputes along Indo-China border very briefly in a 30 seconds.
Disputes.
Starting from the northern end of the border and towards, as you move towards Arunachal, tell me briefly about disputes along the Indo-China border.
So one is the dispute that we had last year, wherein
Not one. Starting from, I said, don't you think it is very casual, sir? One is this and one is that. And if I have told you to follow a particular pattern,
so I'm not really aware of.
are you aware about any dispute along the Indo-Chinese border, the areas of contention where both the countries alike are contesting it, that their claim on those pieces of land?
Yes, sir. Sir, the
All right, sir, please.
Jitender, thank you. Your interview is over.
Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Please come. Please have a seat. Jitender, what do you think about your mock interview?
Sir, I think I was really low on the knowledge part, the things concerning which I should know, I guess. So I think I was low on the knowledge part. That's what I think.
Okay, Jitender, your positive points, your communication is very good. Eye contact is fine. Okay, body language. Your content is good in certain areas. You lack the content. But your confidence was good in the beginning, but it went down after some time. Okay. And you just delve into the areas where you were not confident. In certain
I'm
areas.
sorry, sir.
You answered those questions and went further into those areas where you were not confident. Okay, which ultimately affected your confidence. Otherwise, you are a good candidate. Very good. You need to improve your content. You need to improve your knowledge about border disputes, because it's a CAPF. Their basic duty is to protect the Indian borders. Another, you need to go through it. And you need to go through your current affairs also. You didn't know about Indus Water Treaty, about that projects. It is very much in the news in the last 2-3 days. Okay. Every newspaper is telling what are the projects which may be in danger, which India is constructing. They can construct them and block the waters. Okay. You should be thorough with your current affairs. You should know the border disputes, and you be honest in your answers. Don't try to be overconfident, and don't divulge into the areas where you don't know. Okay. Board should not have the opinion that you are taking the board for granted. Okay, you know much than the board, and you can be smarter than them, or you can misguide them. Okay, be honest. Whatever you know, give the answers. Okay, and you need to improve your little bit body language, and you didn't wish when you went back. When your interview was over, you didn't wish the board. No. Did? No.
Or you can
I
always wish the board.
But you can
I
always,
did
you have
say,
to do it
okay,
for everybody.
I'll
Everybody.
be
You have to
I
more.
do
think
it
you
for
wished
everyone.
me when you left.
You wished? I may be wrong.
I'll be
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to know?
Sir, I just wanted to know your analysis.
Okay,
and
we
your
have given the
understanding.
analysis and you can elaborate.
First and foremost, actually, as I go through your def, you are a bright fellow, as I see it. You are a graduate from NIT and scored a CGPA of 9.36. That should be reflected in questions if there are some questions put on electrical engineering. You should not behave as a layman. Secondly, and most importantly, the American out of, you should now get out of American Express. Drop that hint of, slang or that accent you acquired over there. It is not needed here. It is not required over here. Thirdly, very important point, you should maintain steady eye contact. It is not advisable to look here and there, and it is like as if you are very casual towards your approach, right? You have to take all the panelists very, very seriously. Was there something that I asked out of your def? Sonipat, Kurukshetra, electrical engineering. Was there something that was out of your def?
No.
So what does it mean? It means that you have to be very thorough with your def. Go read, go home, read every word twice, thrice, jot them down, every point, every word, and delve into what kind of questions that may crop up, that may be popped up to you. All right, you are doing well, you will do well, but all these shortcomings you need to cover up.
Yes.
Very briefly go through about every CAPF, about your order of preferences. How do you wish to justify that order? All right.
Yes.
I am advising you because I myself, I am an alumni of some NIT. That is why I am telling you how to go about things. Right? You have a good, everything is fine. But just that, drop that accent you might have acquired in your job. It's max of something American. Some fake English. I'm not saying it is fake. Actually, it was required when you were working over there. But in this kind of setup, you can always drop it. I am not asking you to make some radical changes.
If it is your natural, then
it cannot be natural, sir. He's
It is
from the heartland,
natural,
sir.
sir. I do not
He's
try
from the
to be
heartland
like
of
that.
Haryana, sir.
okay.
All right, I get it. Even if it is natural, try and maintain eye contact. All right, and your socks should be larger. That skin part should not be visible to anyone. Got it? Otherwise, you are good to go. Go through your def again and again, and be very thorough with everything, every security aspect, and restrict yourself to what the panel is asking. If I have asked you to start from the north, then try and start from the north. Aksai-chin, even if you falter down the middle, then it's okay. But you're like completely wavered in answering. Sir, one I remember last year. It is not as if something happened last year. These are disputes which are being carried.
Yes.
All right.
I
All the best.
want to add one thing more sometime you appeared absent-minded. Sometime you need to control it. Okay. In some of the questions you look very confident and very content is excellent. In some of the questions it is turned down. And sometimes you are looking absent-minded. It shows that it was during one of the questions you seem to be absent-minded.
So, like, how can you please elaborate
But
this
you
part?
maintain the repo now. At what level you have started, it should be maintained. The confidence should be there at that same level. Okay, and you should not show that you are a casual in approach. You take the board seriously.
You
and
should
to the point.
Seek the board's permission even if you want to take a moment to think. Sir, can I take a moment to think? Otherwise, if you're like the pause is too longer, it does not reflect very well. The board might just skip the question, right? If you want to answer, if you have some answer, then you can always just go with the answer. But if you want to take a moment before answering, just seek the permission of the board. Sir, can I take a moment to answer? Can I take a moment to think over? All right. If you will elongate the pauses, then the board will just skip the question. And try and maintain eye contact all the time. All the time.
Even when I'm thinking?
If you seek time, then it's okay. Otherwise, you have to
Otherwise, you have potential. You are a very good candidate. Just work on these areas and you are sure to be successful.
Take this feedback very positively.
Yes,
Alright?
sir.
Very positively, you are a good candidate.
Okay, all the best, Jitender.
Thank you so much, sir.